Everybody give it up, 10X for Alex Rodriguez!
Talk to me, A-Rod, about liabilities and assets. I have the saying that like liabilities can be your assets, and assets will always become liabilities at some point. Do you know what I mean by that?
100%. One of the things that a lot of athletes and entertainers and people, folks that grew up like my mother, with very little, they did not understand the difference between a liability and an asset. And it's counterintuitive. Whatever you think is an asset is a liability, and whatever you think is a liability is usually an asset. And people say, but Alex, I'm buying real estate. I said, no, but you have 9 homes, and each one of them costs you $1 million a year, so you have $9 million of negative cash flow. Grant and I own a building, 500 units, and it puts $1.5 million in our pocket every year. So when you perform that out and you forecast that over 10 years, the delta is about $25 million, right? And you do that for 25, 30, 40 years. You buy real estate, you hold on to it, you never sell, you refinance it. Sometimes you have to sell for a strategic reason, but then you land, and today, we're about 8,000 to 10,000 apartment units, and I have 2 regrets in real estate. I didn't buy enough.
Yep. And the second one?
And I sold.
Exactly.
And I sold. But it's okay. You have to sell sometimes. You got to get a double. Not everything's going to be a home run. There's no need to be greedy. Take a single. Take it off the table.
But had you had access to capital back then, you would have never sold anything.
Never. And we wanted to prove ourselves, right? We've put hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. We've bought well over $1 billion, $1.5 billion of real estate over the last 10 years. And we had LPs, we had limited partners, and we wanted to put money in their pocket, right? We wanted to build that track record. Now they're coming back to us, and they're saying, Alex, don't give me this money back. Keep giving me the cash flow. Now, you do monthly. That's incredible.
Yeah,
we
were talking about the way I distribute money in the back.
I love that.
Tell them what you and I were talking about in the back.
I mean, I said, when do you do it? Quarterly? Once a year? He said, nah, I do it monthly. He said, everybody told me not to do it, and I do it monthly. We do it quarterly. Monthly is incredible. It's getting that cash flow every day is so
I want to be
incredible.
paid every month.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Well, the bills come every month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So why real estate? That first duplex you bought, 20 years ago. You paid $250. That was a lot of money back then.
It was tons. Now, the great thing about real estate is the bankers are lining up to lend on real estate, especially multifamily, not on retail. They're saying retail's dying, retail's dead. But multifamily apartments is the greatest asset because as a child I know, that bill comes every month. The great Jerry Reinsdorf, who built this great fortune, most of these owners in sports all owned apartments, right?
Yep.
Probably a third of them. And Jerry Reinsdorf said to me, Alex, if you're 100% full, your rents are too low. If you're 85% full, they're too high. In the middle of a pandemic, we collected 94% of our rents in the middle of a pandemic. And we implemented programs, computers, teaching, because a lot of people are going through difficult times. They're homeschooling, which is very difficult for these young people. I mean, you imagine us having to do Zoom for high school or junior high? What a terrible situation for them. So you feel for them. So we're going into our communities, and we're giving back, and we're putting computers in place so they don't fall behind.
And you've owned real estate around the country. What states do you like right now?
I mean, I like the red states. Yeah.
Red.
Yeah. And
he visits blue states. But he invests in red states.
And look, all you want is you want pro-business, right? I mean, as business people, we employ so many people, we give so much opportunity that we've had a lot of success. We're in 14 states all over the Southeast, a couple out on the West Coast, but we keep it really simple. We buy about $100,000 a door, and our rents are from $800 to $1,200. We do all non-recourse debt, usually Fannie Mae, and we hold them IO for 10 years. And we just refinance every 10 years. and just go to sleep. I used to get a little bonus. I would say, oh man, that's another couple apartments I could do with Grant, right? I would do a signing bonus.
Explain that.
Right. So let's just say when I was coming up, I made 40, 50 G's. That was a lot of money, right? I got 40 G's. Well, if you don't have something to do with that 40 G's, what are you gonna do? It's gonna go away. You're gonna waste it. You're gonna buy a car, you're gonna buy a chain, you're gonna buy a watch. All stuff that are liabilities are gonna make you poor and work harder and stress when you're older. But what I would do is, do I wanna go to Atlanta and do a car show? I would say, I don't really want to. But if I have $40,000, that means I can buy $200,000 worth of apartments. So I just started thinking about the future. And I would take that 40 and I would send it to someone like Grant, or I would just go buy it with my company. This is when I was starting out. So every opportunity, I like to take it and say, I can grow here. And that's how I thought about it.
So just so you guys understand, you guys that aren't in the real estate, he gets a bonus for 40 grand. He could go spend it on a watch. That's 40 grand. And he's got a big watch collection, by the way. Or back in the day, he could say, I'm gonna take that 40 grand and I'm gonna leverage it and buy $200,000 worth of real estate. Okay, and that will cash flow and pay him over long periods of time. And I did exactly the same thing. Like I never spent any money. I had money and nobody knew I had any money because I would just take it and dump it all into the real estate. I'm always broke. How important has it been for that, to have that I'm broke mentality, to get up every day?
Every day I feel like I'm gonna go broke tomorrow. It's just the fear that keeps me kind of hungry, keeps me away from staying complacent. I am obsessed with process, not so much results. Results come and go, but if you get the team right, if you get the vision right, and then you get the process right, over time, you will be successful. And so many people want to jump to the conclusion. So many people want to get the best deal. Don't worry about getting the best deal early. Get in the room. How do you get in the room? How do you get in the conversation? How do you build your credibility?